and I think it's something that I need to, talk about with our team after really any success. And really, it's not necessarily one win; it's just success. So I'm sure the guys felt good. Everybody feels good, but at the same time, like we got to turn the page and move on to the next opponent, which is a good opponent.
Brian, how'd you celebrate Wednesday, may I ask?
I went out to I went to dinner with my wife, and we talked like we normally do. So it was a good night.
Did you have any messages, phone calls, anything that were special to you last night?
Yeah, I got a lot of messages, a lot of well wishes, a lot of congratulatory messages from Pee-wee coaches to high school coaches to college coaches to friends to I got a lot of messages, so it was well received. I mean, it was nice to get those. I've got a lot of support. This team has a lot of support. It was a good feeling, really for me. But at dinner last night with my wife, she talked to me about a Dolphins fan who's been a lifelong Dolphins fan. He brings his son to every home game, and he's just, she's seen him the first few games, and he just wanted to get a win and celebrate that with his son. So I thought about that, and how special that must have been for those two last night, and I don't know how many other situations there are like that. So it's good to get one, and now. Only thing better than one victory is two.
Did you get much reaction in the restaurant?
Nah, nobody knows who I am.
Don't say
no. Is that true? No one came up to you?
No. I hide in the corners anyway.
Brian, what did you see from your secondary yesterday playing their first game with Xavier on the injured reserve list? They seemed to come through pretty well.
I thought they played hard. I think they tackled well. I think that was something we harped on a lot last week. I thought we tackled well. I thought the communication could have been better on some of those, let's call it traffic situations, pick situations. But, we got some young guys in there, new guys. I think Pat and Josh Boyer, I think they do a really good job of getting guys ready to play and really locking in and honing in on, these 4 or 5 things that we need to get done to compete and be productive in the game. So I thought the players executed that. Obviously Nick had a big play in the game. Jamal Wills had a big play in the game. I thought Eric Rowe played really well. I thought Bobby played well. I thought as a unit, the communication was good. So put together a solid performance. Took care of the deep part of the field, tackled, communication. When you do those things, you normally play a pretty solid defense.
What do you see on Wilt's interception on his end? Because we saw Raekwon apply the pressure, but
yeah.
Pretty athletic play.
Athletic play. I think a lot of traffic on that play. I think he fought through a lot of the traffic. They were trying to get Crowder open on a flat route, and there were some picks and rubs and traffic there, and he kind of got through it all. And we applied the pressure, and let's call it a 50-50 ball. They can go get it or we can go get it. We made the play. It was a big play in the game. And I'm glad we made it. And, Jamal is a guy who's been on the practice squad. He's finally getting an opportunity to play. He's trying to take advantage of it. He's played well. He's just done a good job from a communication standpoint. And I think he's getting better each week.
I think your sacks were a season high for you all. What was working for you on that end?
I think the guys are really doing they're working better together on a lot of the rush games, the rush communication. Understand what protection we're going to get, and how do you. Look, you can beat any protection if you know what it is. So the hard part is knowing what it is. I shouldn't say you can beat anyone if you have an opportunity to, and then you got to execute. So I think we understand what teams, from a protection standpoint, want to do. Everyone's got 3, 4, 5 protections, different protections, and we try to attack the protections a little bit. in a way that gives us an advantage. So that showed up a little bit yesterday, and we were able to get a little bit more pressure, which we needed. We needed that against that group. We need it every week. Preston. So Preston, this will be a season-ending injury for Preston. I'm not going to go into details of what it is, but that's a big loss for us. I talked to him this morning. He's done an incredible job, really. He came to us as a free agent. And has really kind of grown over the last 6 months, 7 months. I was devastated for the kid, and he was as well. But I told him this is just a bump in the road, and he'll be back. I believe if he attacks his rehab and his training the way he did, from the time he got here, he'll be just fine. So, he can be a very good player in this league, but it's up to him. There's a lot of players in this league with a lot of potential, a lot of talent, but it's up to him to put in the work, put in the preparation, the training, the diet, the sleep, the nutrition. All of it. It all counts, and I think he's definitely on the right track to get the most out of his talent, his ability. In some cases, a setback could, is a good thing, and allow him to train and to, really lock in on all those other things, that a little bit earlier than we would have if we, played the entire season. So I think that's the kind of approach he needs to take on it.
Looking at him potentially doing some work at training camp or spring?
It's way too early to tell. Yeah, it's just way too early. So, I'm not going to get. We're a couple hours after the die. I can't. I don't want to speculate on a timetable here. I think the best thing for him is to take it one day at a time and to put he'll be back on this day. I think that's crazy in a lot of ways. Let's just take it one day at a time and try to get better, and not just the injury, but really everything, every aspect. So he's still a young kid, He's still a young kid. He needs a lot of, and that's what we're here for. We're here to mentor. We're here to teach. We're here to coach, and in every area. So, in the building, outside the building, that's our job.
You said earlier, one victory is what's better than one victory is two. What do you envision the rest of the season is going to be like for you guys in the second half? What's the goal you guys want to accomplish?
Well, we're starting the third quarter of the season now. Try to break this up into quarters. So I think the second quarter we were better than we were the first quarter. So I envision us. So I'd like for us to be better in the third quarter than we were in the second quarter and the first quarter. So better communication, better fundamentals, better technique, better execution. We could obviously be better with the turnovers, and try to continue to improve in the places that we're actually doing some good things. And that's my vision. We're always going to come out and compete and play hard and try to play tough. That's not going to. It'll always be that way. But we want to execute and try to play at a good clip, at a good level, and at a winning level. So that's the goal. Whether we achieve that, that's up to us. That's up to, if we fall short on our process or fall short in our preparation for a myriad of reasons. It could be complacency. It could be, fatigue. It could be, a lot of reasons why that happens. And, each team and each individual is a little bit different. We got to try to ward that off. And that's our job as coaches, to remind them that it's a long season. Guys get tired, and we need to fight through it.
So without Preston, where do you turn? You have several guys and backup receivers who are working their way back from injury and so forth, on and off the roster in one case in particular. So where are you going to look for help?
Well, I mean, I think Isaiah Ford's been on and off the roster, so I think he's definitely somebody we have a lot of confidence in. So that's definitely one option. But from Devontae to Allen Hurns to Albert to Jakeem, I think we just need the next guy to step up. At the end of the day, that's really what it boils down to. They know that. I think those guys are up for the challenge. And while Preston's a big loss, it opens up an opportunity for some of these other guys.
Brian, we saw a lot of good individual performances in the passing game, Fitz and Gesicki and Devontae and Preston. Why did it work so well as a unit? Why did it work so well together yesterday?
Well, I thought we talked all week about good spacing, good route detail, and ultimately getting open and catching the football. We did have some drops, which we can eliminate those. But I would say at the end of the day, our guys did a good job of releases, getting into the route, and then our route detail and technique at the top of the route, getting themselves open, and they made some tough catches. I thought Mike, this was his best game. I thought he played with an attitude and energy that we need to see on a week-to-week basis. He was fired up. I love that about him. I got on him a little bit. You can't get fired up, get animated, and come out because you're a little gassed. Then let's save our energy then. So, but he played well. I think our O-line, did a good job from a protection standpoint, gave us some time to throw it, and then honestly, it starts with Fitz. I think there's a lot of confidence that he'll get them the ball with an opportunity to make a play, and he gets the whole offense going. So he's done a good job, and he's a leader, and they follow.
What are you thinking at right guard with Sutherland and Reed? Who's ahead, or what are you looking for there?
Well, we pushed Shaq, made him inactive. I would say, we've talked about this as a total team. The rookie wall is a real thing, and we've got to push through that. So I guess that's my message to Shaq and all rookies. But Shaq's done a good job, so he'll be in the mix. I know you just mentioned Keaton and Chris, but Shaq's definitely in the mix. And look, we'll continue to go out there and do a good job in practice. And let's be clear, Shaq's done a very good job the entire year. I don't want this to get misconstrued as me jumping on Shaq. I think he's done a good job. This is a good young player. This is somebody I have a lot of confidence in. But the rookie wall is a real thing, and I think his fatigue is starting to set in a little bit. And, that was part of the reason why, he was inactive. So let's be clear on that one. So, yeah, he'll be in the mix there. I think we've got, 3 guys who we feel good about. And based on practice, based on the matchups, we'll play who we feel most confident in.
Fitz has talked about how he feels like he's made for this kind of situation this season with this team, and the kind of player that he is. You're smiling. I assume you agree with that. What did you see particularly yesterday?
Fitz is made for any situation. So, that's why I'm smiling. But can you repeat the question? I'm sorry.
Well, how has that been the case that he's helped keep things pointed in the right direction with some pretty tough sledding at times?
I think he's an experienced player. He understands this offense. And by all accounts, he's pretty much a coach on the field. So he can kind of direct traffic and point guys in the right direction. And I think, in a lot of ways, that's probably kind of what he's alluding to. And I see that too. So he's done a good job from that standpoint. And, he's a confident person. And the other guys feed off of that confidence, and I think that's helped us across the board, not just offensively. So I would agree with him.
That's good. All right.
Thanks, guys.